Hey folks, Shaky Cam Skep back with the same camera setup, but a new deck profile for you. Alliance Insight comes out in about a week in the TCG, and I got a friend who went to Japan last month to hook me up with the new Evil Twin and Live Twin support, plus the alt arts we never got in Rarity 4. So I figured I'd whip out my gardening gloves and go ahead and show you what I'm going to be playing in Alliance Insight and what I think you could do to make some changes to it if you want to play some different cards. This is a budget Fiendsmith Live Twin deck insofar as we're not playing a huge Fiendsmith engine, so you don't need any TRACT. I'll show you what the deck would look like if you want to play more TRACT, as well as a reason why you might want to play the full, like, 7-card, 6-card Fiendsmith engine. But you don't need it, and I'll show you why when we do some combos. So let's start with the main deck here, get this extra deck out of here. All right, so our main deck, we've got a pretty expansive engine, and you know how I am with using these fucking gardening gloves. They're not great for deck profiles, but it's all I got. So there's 3 Live Twin Ki-Sikil, 3 Live Twin Lil-La, 2 Ki-Sikil Frost, 2 of the brand new Lil-La Sweet, which is a surprisingly dogshit card in a way that, like, I didn't think it would be. We're playing 2 of this because you can only... This doesn't summon itself from hand like the other extenders, so if you draw it, you can't mill it. So you don't have to play 2, but it actually is legitimately a hard garnet. Because even though it is a hand trap, it only interacts with your opponent stopping your live twins, not your live twins and evil twins. And post support, no one should be hand trapping a normal summon of fucking Ki-Sikil. Lil-La, maybe, because Lil-La isn't full combo on her own, but every Ki-Sikil is, even through negation, full combo. So no one should be hand trapping a live twin anymore, and yet this is the only thing that Lil-La Sweet protects from hand traps, is cards that no one should be hand trapping in. 1 Lil-La Treat, because this doesn't summon itself from hand, so you still need a Lil-La to search if you get interrupted, and you do want to execute Caesar plus Lacrima and Requiem Engrave, if not just Desirae. You'll search the Lil-La, summon it. Or if you get interrupted on like a evil twin effect, since this doesn't protect them, you can search this and summon it. There are reasons why you would want it, as well as reasons you would cut it. I just think it's too good to play. I would cut the second Suite before I would cut this, even though this is a much worse card. All right, let me show off the spells we're playing here. We've got 3 Secret Password, 3 Sunny Snitch, and to round off our engine count, 1 Engraver, 1 Crimson Tears, 1 Fiendsmith in Paradise. We're not playing TRACT because your Ki-Sikil, any way to Ki-Sikil, pulls Lacrima out of deck, which sends Engraver to the graveyard. And unlike the Live Twin Fiendsmith deck I showcased in Master Duel, you do not need to get Engraver to hand to search TRACT to summon Lurry to get enough material for your combo. You get your whole combo off of just these 2 cards, and this is here is just like the 40th card because your full combo does leave Crimson Tears and Requiem Engrave, so you can, you know, shuffle this back, summon Requiem on your opponent's turn, tribute Requiem for the Lacrima you shuffled back. Lacrima sends Fiendsmith in Paradise, and then you send the big fusion on your opponent's turn to target a card they control, send to the graveyard. So I would definitely play this. I would play this over TRACT, because you just don't need TRACT. Even in combos where you get interrupted, you don't need it. So that is the engine. It's exactly 20 cards. This is a perfectly symmetrical deck, 20 engine and 20 non-engine. So we've got 18 hand traps and 2 stops. The hand traps we're playing are 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 copies of Effect Veiler, 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird, 3 copies of Nibiru, the Primal Being, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, and finally 3 copies of Ghost Belle and Haunted Mansion, simply because there are a ton of people on Bestials at my locals, and even though this deck doesn't super die to them, I still would like to protect my Engraver and my Evil Twin effects with Ghost Belle. The last 2 cards, pretty obviously, we've got Crossout Designator and Called by the Grave. Crossout Designator, thank God they put this card to 1. It just becomes so much easier to fit when you don't have to find, like, 3 cards to cut for this. I would play, like, a 1 of Ghost Mourner over this if my locals wasn't so well prepared for targeted negation. Like, as good as Effect Veil and Impermanence are, I do find myself siding them out a lot at locals. So having another card that I would just side out is just not really worth it. So Crossout Designator is here, but you could also play the second Engraver in case, like, since you're using the first one to make Caesar, and sometimes your Caesar gets, like, Book of Moonder negated or prevented from detaching material from it, so your Engraver is sort of locked out of your graveyard, but you have, you know, Lacrima in rotation at all times. So you can play a second Engraver over Crossout for that reason. There is just a ton of customization you can do with this 40th card. There's also a ton of customization you can do in general. If you don't like Belle, you can, of course, play the Mulch Armies. The only Mulch Army I can afford is Carlos. It's funny to say that, having his Altar called by the Grave. That's what cleared me out. So I could play a Mulch Army Carlos in this deck, but no deck at my locals really loses to it, so I'm siding it. If I had access to Joel, the new one from Supreme Darkness, I'd play that over Belle, because a lot of people are summoning from the graveyard at my locals. But I don't have that one, so we're not playing it. Ghost Belle is pretty good for what I need this deck to accomplish. That's why it's here. Again, if you only want to play 15 instead of 18 hand traps, you can swap the Ghost Belle and Haunted Mansion and the Crossout Designator for the 2 more Engravers, the Fiendsmith Tract, and the Lurie, and play the full package. And I'll show you why you might want to do that once I'm done showing off the extra deck and playing some test combos for you. Let's take a look at what I'm playing on the extra deck. Alrighty, so for the extra deck, I'm playing one of the new card, Evil Twin Ki-Sikil Deal. Thanks to my friend Dr. Hero, who sent these to me along with this mat and the sleeves I'm using for the extra deck here, the YCS Japan bundle. This card's crazy. This is Mathmech Circular. Everyone probably knows what this card does if they're interested in Live Twins. It sends a Lil-La monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then, for the rest of the turn, each time your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Live Twin or Evil Twin effect activation, you immediately draw 1 card when it resolves. So if they effect Veiler one of your Evil Twins, you'll draw a card if it resolves. It's functionally reverse Max C, which is incredibly funny because I thought this card lost to Ash because I thought it sent for effect. Like, activate this effect, send a Lil-La monster from your deck to your graveyard, and if you do for the rest of this turn after this effect resolves, whenever your opponent activates a card or effect in response to your Live Twin or Evil Twin effect activation, you immediately draw 1 card when it resolves. No, you send the Lil-La monster from deck to graveyard as cost. So the interaction is to stop you from drawing cards in the future. So if your opponent effect Veilers this or Ash Blossoms this, which is very funny, you can still Ash Blossom this, you're still going to send your Lil-La to the graveyard. You're just not going to draw a card. So if they have like an Ash Blossom for this and a Veiler for this, you're not going to get to draw if they Veiler this after ashing this, but you've already ripped 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, so I think you came out ahead of that interaction. So there's the Ki-Sikil deal we're playing. We're playing double Evil Twin Ki-Sikil, double Evil Twin Lil-La, and double Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. I think it makes sense to play 2 here because unlike in Live Twin Sprite where you physically cannot make this thing turn 1, you are making this turn 1 and you want to be able to make it turn 3 for damage. So you use the first one for interaction on your opponent's first turn when they go second, and you use the first one from the grave after tributing it to send like a Lil-La to the grave to send a card, revive Lil-La, pop another card, then link summon the second one to push for damage. I would definitely not cut this, but maybe, like I said, I mean, Alliance Insight hasn't even come out yet. I don't have any real games of experience in paper with it, which are never as good. Wanabaoku, Lightless Shadow. This card, I don't know if everyone knows it, but it was designed as Live Twin support, so it has a lot of important synergies that don't really come up outside of this deck. For example, the quick effect to revive something from grave during the main phase, you're using that to bring back Sunny, because as part of your combo, you're making Sunny, tributing Sunny to make both Evil Twins again, which will then let you use your Ki-Sikil effect, because now that you're making Deal first, you'll go through blue first, which means if if you don't make Sunny and then tribute it, you're not getting the chance to access Ki-Sikil and her draw effect. So you're making this, tributing to summon these two back, then you're linking these two off for a Baoku, then using the card you drew off Ki-Sikil to revive Trouble Sunny, and a Baoku comes back on your next turn. Additionally, because all the starters, extenders, and hand traps are different types, a Baoku is at minimum going to draw you 3 cards during your standby phase. 1 for the Cyber's normal summon, 1 for the spellcaster Lil-La you milled off of Ki-Sikil deal, and 1 for whatever extender you summoned. If you normal summon Ki-Sikil, you can summon the zombie Lil-La from deck, Aqua Ki-Sikil from deck. Or even if you don't do that, like you want to play around a hand trap so you normal summon Ki-Sikil, summon a regular Lil-La, you're still drawing 3 because I didn't count Fiend yet. So you have the Cybers, the Spellcaster, and Fiend. You're always going to have at least 3 cards engraved, maybe more depending on the hand trap suite. Ash is a zombie, Nibiru's a rock and can get sent to graveyard fairly easily, or you can afford to discard it. A Baoku is part of the reason why it's not so bad to main deck Mulcharmies in this list. I've been harping on them in Master Duel in this deck because they literally do nothing when you go first. With this card, if you go first and draw a Mulcharmy, you can pitch it to activate a Baoku's effect, and that's another draw during your standby phase because you're not playing any other Winged Beast. I still would suggest siding it, but it's just an advantage of having this card in the deck. Concession to my local metagame, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. We can get, what's-his-face? Fiendsmith's Desirae pretty high up in power to beat over like the 5,000 attack Raid Raptor towers. I don't think they get much higher than that. But if they make 2, we're kind of fucked. So we basically make the first Underworld Goddess, link it off for Requiem, and then do our Fiendsmith stuff to get Desirae that hits over a second towers. This is easily something you can take out. I just have a lot of towers turbo. Finally, and by finally I mean not finally at all, we've got the Fiendsmith engine, 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Agnumday, which we don't make going first. It's only for like turn 3 OTKs, but I mean that's still worth playing. We've got 1 Fiendsmith Desirae, 1 Necroquip Princess to help us make our final card, the DDD Wave High King Caesar. Our end board is going to be Caesar, Sunny, a Baoku, with the ability to send Desirae from our extra deck to the graveyard on our opponent's turn for 4-5 interactions off of 1 card, which means we'll have 4 in our hand to draw the out. If our normal summon gets negated, or if the only starter you drew is a Ki-Sikil Frost, you're going to end on Sunny, a Baoku, and Desirae with a Sequence equipped, which is pretty good, even through hand traps. So I'm going to take some time to show you the 1-card combo, the 1-card combo through interaction, and the reason why you might want to go up on Engraver. So let's hop right into those. Alrighty, so here's our 1-card combo. Excuse the face-up cards over here. That's just, I don't want to go through my whole deck with these shitty gloves on, and I haven't bought, like, good gloves for doing this kind of thing. So we have just the main deck cards we're going to be using for the combo over here, and just the extra deck cards we're going to be using over here. All of this can be done off of Lil-La, but you need your Lil-La to resolve, or you need to have drawn one of your 6 extender spells, or I guess 8 extenders, because in addition to either of your spells, you could also hard draw the Ki-Sikil Frost. This is a 1-card combo on its own, but if you want to play through interaction, you need to draw, an extender. That is not the case if we draw Ki-Sikil, and I will show you that in a second. All right, so we're going to normal summon Lil-La. Lil-La's effect will activate and resolve to summon Frost. Then we are going to link Frost off for our brand new monster. We'll put the graveyard. For the Ki-Sikil deal, right here, Ki-Sikil deal's effect will activate to mill for cost. The 5-twin Lil-La Suite, which will then activate its effect to revive itself. And now we're doing the Fiendsmith stuff. We're going to link Ki-Sikil deal off for a Requiem. Requiem will then activate to tribute itself off to bring Lacrima out of the deck. There is Lacrima. Lacrima is going to activate to mill the Engraver. And then we can do a couple other things. Since your opponent can still Bestial your twins, even though you'll draw a card, you might want to make your Lil-La first, so you have 2 Ki-Sikils engraved to revive in case they banish one of them. So that's what we'll do. We will link these two Lil-Las off for a big Lil-La. Big Lil-La right here. Then big Lil-La will activate, non-targeting, summon a Ki-Sikil from grave. We ideally want to leave Deal in the graveyard, and since it didn't get banished, we'll just bring it back. Next, we will activate Engraver's effect. Are you at the bottom of my graveyard? You are. We're going to activate Engraver's effect to shuffle back the Ki-Sikil Deal. That is another reason why it's so fantastic Ki-Sikil Deal exists, because it's our extra light fiend material to allow us to play, to get extra interaction with the Fiendsmith in Paradise on a turn. So we'll shuffle that back, bring Engraver out of the graveyard, activate Requiem, equip to Crimson Tears. Then we will contact fuse our Fiend monster equipped with an equipped card and our Fiend monster card for a copy of Necroquip Princess. And we will finally overlay our 2 level 6 Fiends on top of each other for DDD Wave High King Cheeser. And then we just do the rest of the Live Twin stuff. You should know how this goes. Ki-Sikil and Lil-La off for big ol' Ki-Sikil. Big ol' Ki-Sikil's effect activates to revive Lil-La, and this is what I was talking about before. If we don't make Trouble Sunny, we don't get to revive Ki-Sikil while we have a Lil-La monster on field, meaning we don't get to draw. Obviously, we're not going to use our effect to pop, but going second, that's just another piece of spot removal you got. We're going to link these two off, just skip a step here since this is kind of unwieldy and annoying to do. We are going to summon Trouble Sunny, tribute Trouble Sunny, to revive Ki-Sikil and Lil-La, at which point draw a card. That's the card we drew. And then we will link these two off again for a rank 4 or a link 4 Fiend, a Baoku the Lightless Shadow. At the end of our main phase, we will activate a Baoku to discard the card we drew. This is just on the bottom of my deck. Revive a lighter dark monster from grave, which is a Sunny. During our end phase, it comes back, and we have all off of one card. We have 2 Material Caesar, Sunny, and a Baoku with 4 cards in hand. And that's not all. We do have the Lacrima into Crimson Tears effect, meaning during our opponent's main phase, we will summon out Lacrima. We'll shuffle Lacrima back into our deck, summon Requiem, tribute Requiem. For the Lacrima, Lacrima will send Fiendsmith in Paradise, which when our opponent special summons a monster, can banish itself. You send Desirae. Desiree's effect will activate, shuffling back the Requiem into our deck, so we can send our opponent's card to the graveyard. So that's 1 piece of spot removal, 2 pieces of spot removal, 3 pieces of spot removal, and 4, 5 pieces of interaction total off of 1 card. These are, of course, very powerful. This does lose to board breakers, but you can just fit Desirae into this combo instead of Caesar to not lose to board breakers. So let me show you what you can do with this deck if your normal summon gets interrupted. All right, here's our 1-card Ki-Sikil combo. We're going to normal summon Ki-Sikil and attempt to activate its effect. Ah, fuck, it got Veiler. So we're not going to have an extra material, but that's totally fine. We are going to link summon a copy of, you guessed it, Ki-Sikil Deal. Activate Ki-Sikil Deal by paying its cost to send Sweet. Sweet will then reborn itself. And wouldn't you know, we've got a Light Fiend on our field, so we're just going to tribute this right off for a copy of Fiendsmith's freaking Requiem, Lois. Right there. Requiem, of course, is going to tribute itself. We're going to get Crimson Tears out of our deck. There she is. Look at our wonderful zone placement. This was going to activate. We're going to mill. Let's get you. We're going to send Engraver to the graveyard. Then we are going to use Engraver. We can do it any which way, I suppose. So since we still have 2 Ki-Sikil monsters in the graveyard, if you want to play around Bestials, we're going to link off Crimson Tears and what's-her-face Sweet to make the evil twin Lil-La. Activate Lil-La's effect. Since we still have 2 Ki-Sikils engraved and it doesn't target, they'll have to have 2 Bestials, or a DD Crow and a Bestial, or just a Ghost Belle, or an Effect Veiler, I guess. But if they Effect Veiler us, we'll be drawing another card, and any Ki-Sikil extender or Live Twin spell will still get us there. So, we've got Ki-Sikil now and Lil-La. Let's then link off for big Ki-Sikil. Ki-Sikil's effect's going to activate, bringing back Lil-La, and we're not going to, of course, activate its effect to destroy anything. We just do that this way to play around any sort of graveyard banishing. So we can do, if our Fiendsmith gets removed from here, we just do, what do? We do a Baoku plus Sunny with Requiem and Lacrima Engrave to send Fiendsmith in Paradise, to send Desirae. So we're still fine even if our Engraver gets interrupted at our next stage, which is just so crazy about this deck. So we are going to activate Engraver, shuffling back the Ki-Sikil deal. Then we're going to summon Engraver, at which point we will link these two. Actually, we'll link these two off. I want to leave Ki-Sikil on field specifically just in case some like really unforeseen thing happens and this gets stopped. I'd rather leave Ki-Sikil on field than Lil-La. So worst case scenario, I can bring back a Lil-La during my opponent and destroy something. So we're going to link those two off for sequence. We're going to activate sequence, shuffling back our Engraver, our Lacrima, and our Fiendsmith sequence, or Requiem rather. Those all get shuffled back. Just get them out of here for now. And then, of course, we will fusion summon the copy of Fiendsmith's Desirae. We'll then link these two off. Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. Activate sequence from the graveyard to equip it to our young man. Sunny's effect, we've already seen this. Summon back our two twins, which is when we will activate Ki-Sikil to draw a card. Link these two off as you saw before for the one, the only Baoku, the Lightless Shadow. Activate a Baoku, getting rid of the card we just drew to bring back the Sunny and banish itself until the end phase. So at the end step, we're going to be looking at these cards on our field and 4 cards in hand, which can, of course, be hand traps. Again, if we had extenders, we would just make the same board that I already showed you. This is through your normal summon not resolving, and since we didn't use the effect of Ki-Sikil to get extra monsters on the field, any copy of Ki-Sikil Frost is full combo. Even if you draw Ki-Sikil Frost plus like 1 Ash Blossom, 2 Veilers, and a Droll lock, will get you to this board. So this deck is very powerful, and you only need 1 Engraver and no Tract in order to execute these combos. I'll show you the one reason you might want to play a more heavy Fiendsmith package right now. Alrighty, last stop on our little journey here today, and I'm going to be telling you why I think it's not a horrible idea to play a full-sized Fiendsmith engine with 2 more copies of Engraver for 3 total, a Tract and a Lurry. And the reason for that is hands in which you draw Engraver plus any of these 4 cards. Again, we're playing 3 of this, 3 of this, 3 of this, and 2 of this. So any of this 3 cards plus any of these, 3, 6, 9, 11, plus any of these 11 cards. And since we don't need our Ki-Sikil to resolve, as you saw, to execute a combo, and Fiendsmith Engraver gets you to sequence all on its own, the idea is you do a Fiendsmith combo and then normal summon any Ki-Sikil, whether you search for it or hard draw it, and you just do the live twin combo. So it should be pretty simple. I'll just show you it, and I'll try to cut out as much as possible because I'm going kind of slow because these gloves, as I keep saying, they're gardening gloves. I should not be using them in these stupid fucking videos I make. So, these are our starting hands. Excuse the mismatching sleeves. I have my Fiendsmith engine in my Unchained deck since this deck is illegal until next week. So I just hurriedly took out my Fiendsmith 1 Engraver and the Lacrima and stuff, put them in this deck, which I will take out after this video is done. So we're going to activate Engraver, just do the combo. You already know how it works. Add Tract, activate Tract, Track it, Lurry dumps itself, Lurry summons itself. What do you know it? I think there's a monster we can make off of exactly one Light Fiend, and it's Requiem. Requiem activates, tributing itself for Lacrima. Lacrima will send your second Fiendsmith, so you have extra Light Fiends. You'll activate the effect of Requiem. Contact fuse your Fiend monster and your Fiend monster card into Necroquip Penis. I'm so fucking fun. Please like this video. Then we're going to shuffle back the Engraver off of the Engraver. Actually, we'll shuffle back Lurie off the Engraver. And wouldn't you know it, we've got 2 level 6 Fiends on our field. I think there's a monster we can make with those 2. Wouldn't you know, there absolutely is. I just like putting him in the far right zone, so he's effectively good. And of course, now we just do the Live Twin combo. No fuss, no muss. Normal summon Ki-Sikil, no effect because we control a monster. Who cares? Deal's going to deal us some Sweets. Sweets is going to revive itself. Link these 2 off for big Ki-Sikil now. Oop, put you down a little bit more. There's Ki-Sikil. Ki-Sikil revive Lil-La. We're gonna make big Lil-La. Then, as you know, we're gonna bring back Ki-Sikil. That will draw us a card. Then we're going to link these 2 off for Sunny. We're just gonna put Sunny directly into the graveyard for the purposes of this video because you know we're gonna tribute Sunny, bring back our 2 live twins, and link summon a Baoku. Discard the card we drew off of Ki-Sikil. Summon Sunny. End our turn. A Baoku will return, and we'll have 3 cards in hand, not 4. So this is a 2-card combo that doesn't extend you any further, but it is a 2-card combo that plays around Nibiru, and there is one point in the combo in which you are vulnerable to Nibiru, that of course being the time where you have the 2 Lil-La monsters on your field, and you revive Engraver after making Necroquip. You can be Nibiru'd there, and you don't have any extenders through that because we're not playing the awful E-Tally. The one reason to play the E-Tally is because the Fiendsmith engine is just 3 cards extra to play, you know, the extra 2. No, it's 4 cards actually. Yeah, the 2 Engraver, the Lurie, and the TRACT. But you can cut, you know, the second suite and then play the 1 live twin. I think it's Home. It's a horrible card, but if you get Nibiru, you can end on Sunny, which is like more than you can do if you get Nibiru at that stage. Granted, you do have 4 cards in hand, so you could come back from it. But if you're as allergic to getting Nibiru as I am, playing a full 7-card Fiendsmith engine and making Caesar before committing to a Ki-Sikil summon is the best way to play around it. And of course, if your opponent wants to interact with your Fiendsmith stuff, that just eats other hand traps that you don't have to worry about for your Live Twin combo, because even if they stop your Fiendsmith stuff and you don't get the Live Twin normal summon effect, you can just make Desirae like I showed you before. So very resilient to hand traps, a ton of different ways you can play it, a ton of different ways you can build it. I'm not going to be maxing out on Fiendsmith. To start out, I think the 1-1-1 build of this deck with an incredibly small engine is the way I want to play it, because I think the selling point of this deck in the next format is the amount of space it has for non-engine. I was fully expecting Moon and Exciton Knight to get banned, and the reason to play Live Twin being it's the best deck at wielding Fiendsmith. But since both Ryziel and Malice are just as effective at wielding Fiendsmith while also being archetypes that are much more powerful than Live Twins in their own right, that reason doesn't really exist. These are sadly not the best deck to use Fiendsmith in, but they do absolutely benefit from it. You don't have to buy the most expensive card in the engine, which is TRACT, if you play it the way that I've been showing off. And it's a ton of fun. It's definitely the best way to play Live Twins. Like, I think if you're not putting the 3 Fiendsmith cards in the main deck and the, 4 in the extra, I just think the ceiling of Live Twins is so, so low. Because Sunny plus Abao with 4 cards in hand pass is so much worse than Sunny, Abao, Caesar, and in Paradise in the graveyard. And it doesn't require a ton of extra main deck space to make your deck worse. You'll see if you've watched my Master Duel video, we're not playing the Unchained stuff, because you don't need to get Engraver back to hand to combo. So that's 2 extra spaces in the deck that we freed up for non-engine, to play hand traps, or to even maximize our consistency. I think the reason to play the deck is to keep the engine as small as you can, and max out on hand traps. And 20 and 20 is a pretty good place to be in this format, I think. If you can find space for Droplet's good. But I'm not going over card choices in this section. I'm just signing off. Telling you, I think this deck is good, but I don't think it is the best Fiendsmith deck post-Alliance Insight. I hope this deck is rogue playable, but I don't think it's going to be tiered. It'd be pretty exciting if I was wrong, though. I do like this deck. That's all I really got for you. If you like this video, please consider liking the video and leaving a comment and, I don't know, becoming a channel member. I don't really have any membership content, though, and I don't think you can use emotes on anyone's channel but mine. So, I don't know, maybe not. Check out my Twitch. I stream live. I'm going to be playing more Masso Skep once my internet connection starts working again. All right, bye.